What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with another movie review / recommendation. Today we're going to go back to the year 1973 to take a look at a film directed by Alan Gibson. We've got the Satanic Rites of Dracula. Yes, the 8th installment in the Hammer Dracula film series, man. I've been having a blast with this. And this cover this is a sealed copy, by the way. One of those thin... This is probably like an art piece now. Like some asshole would pay like $3,500 for it. They're like, that is a sealed cheap one from fucking Walmart. It's like, yeah, buddy, we used to get them for 49 cents a piece. But like these thin DVDs, by the way, they bring me back to a certain time. You know, when Walmart did have like a bunch of these. Like my stepdad Richie, he got so many like shitty Chinese films that were like these kung fu flicks that were borderline unwatchable sometimes. Like, you know, I developed a respect and taste for those films back in those days, but I feel like we watched a lot of bad ones. So now when I watch a really good one, it's, you know, because we weren't watching like One-Armed Swordsman or 36 Chambers or anything like that. We were watching like, you know, like some of the stuff that I still have to this day, but the stuff that I have to this day is still pretty fucking good. Like Three Evil Masters, come on, that is a fucking amazing film, super quotable. Wu-Tang's used tons of stuff out of that flick. It's one of my favorites. Secret of the Shaolin Poles is one that you're not just going to hear about, that I really enjoy. You know, I remember specifically watching that with my buddy Tom back in the day for the first time. We watched a bunch of Richie's fucking Chinese movies back then, and you know, and we were playing chess. We thought we were Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? Like that's what we lived that. We didn't sell crack or anything like that, but we played chess, we got high as fuck, we watched kung fu flicks and horror flicks and all that shit, played fucking old games and stuff. We had some good times back in the day, I can't lie, but it reminds me of these thin DVDs. So basically, the story of Satanic Rites of Dracula is it's about like this cult it's more or less about this house where these satanic cults are happening, and it's being run by this like fucking super duper developer type, all right, that has this big sky rise and all this shit. But you know, Van Helsing's daughter's in this film again, different actress. Cop's back, same cop from the last film, and they're there taking information at this Satanic Rites place, or at this house, the Pelham house. They have like an inside guy that's got his ass kicked in there, but he ends up escaping. He ends up dying though. But he got some information. He took 5 photos. He's like, I got 5. He took a recording on his watch, but he snapped 5 photos. But the one photo, there was nobody in it. So right off the bat, I'm like, okay, well, that's fucking Count Dracula. And it was. But they end up needing the help of like Van Helsing to sort of like clarify if this one guy's involved in it. That guy ends up getting murdered. Van Helsing gets fucking shot at, but he ends up surviving. But his buddy that he goes to visit, that's like developed the bubonic plague, for fuck's sakes, like for the Satanic Rites. And like the argument is, okay, what if Dracula is, you know, wants to create the bubonic plague, kill the entire planet, then, you know, he's gonna die because he's gonna not be able to get sustenance of blood or whatever. And he's like, maybe Dracula wants to die. Like Peter Cushing, like the guy chain smokes like a motherfucker. He even admits in the movie, he's like, it's a bad habit, I know, but it calms me down. And I'm like, motherfucker, same with hashish and me. I'll say right off the bat, these ones set in the 70s, I wish there was like 5 of them. You know what I mean? Because they're just fun. Like these one, like, don't get me wrong. I have respect for all these films, and I have a certain admiration for all of them. I love Christopher Lee. I love the Hammer films. This was like something that I thought was gonna, you know, take me a lot longer than it did, but I you know, in a couple of weeks, you know, nail out 9 flicks. It's not impossible. So, you know, I got my notes here, of course, my little notepad. So yeah, at the beginning of the film, there's this guy that's like, you know, they're taking information. He's like a weasel for the cops. He ends up killing this guy. He's tied up and he ends up strangling his ass, which was a fun scene. There's like a fun motorcycle chase scene kind of on like the grounds of this property, and one of the motorcycle guys gets shot in the fucking helmet and like fills with blood really fast. I thought it was pretty dope. Yeah, so basically how Dracula comes back in this film is actually pretty weak. He just sort of boots a door in on a broad is what I wrote down. So he just sort of like comes in out of nowhere. There was no real bring back, you know what I mean? Like there's no bat puking blood, there's no guy fucking pouring his blood and Dracula's blood, none of that. Kind of weak on that. But like the whole thing is like they're using this scientist guy to bring back the bubonic plague, and at the end Dracula like fucks those people over anyway, and like gives the one guy the bubonic plague. There's a bunch of vampires in the fucking basement of this Pelham house, like chick vampires, and they end up getting killed, but like by the lamest way. Like the sprinkler comes on, like the guy sets off the sprinkler because the running water thing, and I'm like, man, fuck, that's weak, dude. There's a scene where there's an actual tit on the screen. She gets stabbed in the tit. You see nipple. So that's the first time you actually see a nipple in the Hammer Dracula films. So maybe they'll show something crazy in the next one. I was going to say something explicit, but then I realized, you know what, this is a family channel. Van Helsing thinks Dracula wants to die. I already kind of explained that in a bit. There's a guy that gets shot to shit on a car. I'm totally blanking on that part right there. Anyways, Van Helsing makes a silver bullet. The only problem is he makes a silver bullet, but he doesn't like. He just casts like the bullet. He doesn't make like the casing and all that stuff, which, you know, it's fine. But I was like, what the fuck? Jessica gets captured. So his fucking Van Helsing's granddaughter gets captured. Dracula wants to eat her ass. You know how it goes. But Dracula ends up being this executive guy. Like earlier I mentioned, there's like this corporation, you know, and all this shit, and he fucking is the top of the corporation. And like this one was okay. It was okay. Like again, I love the 70s setting, but this one was just sort of like, what the fuck's going on? The way that Dracula gets killed in this, man. He gets tangled up in a hawthorn tree, which is the tree that Jesus's thing was made out of. The I forget what that thing's called, like the crown of thorns or whatever. It was made out of that. So he gets tangled up in that, and then Van Helsing stabs his ass in the heart and takes his ring, and that's the end. So Satanic Rites of Dracula. It's a good one. It's good one because you got Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. If they weren't in this, I wouldn't even fucking bother with this film. No, thank you. But yeah, good stuff, man. I'm sad that it's coming to an end though. Like, I know there'll be more Christopher Lee. I know there's more Peter Cushing and stuff, but, like, you know, Dracula, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Dracula, like, fucking phenomenal, man. So, I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you leave a 666 in the comments. With that being said, adios. Oh, and also, oh, never mind.